Mirthwood has been the talk of many cozy gamers, but I have to say, this game might not be what you're expecting in a good way. I got to play it early, and thanks to Vicarious PR for sponsoring this video, I have a lot to say. And as always, I have free reins over telling you exactly how I feel about this game. You can buy it for yourself by visiting the Steam page linked in both the pinned comment and the description box. To set you up with the setting of this world, a war has torn everything apart, so here you are fleeing to a new land for a fresh start, leaving your family behind. You get your homestead and have complete liberty to choose what kind of life you want to lead. You can be good, you can be evil, or you can be neutral. The choice is yours. After you reach the new land, you meet a masked individual, very mysterious, and this person sends you on various missions, and while you do that, you're gonna stumble across some letters in the world telling you stories of different people. And the way that you approach these missions is completely up to you. Your choices are gonna matter, so you might even fail some of them if you pick the wrong choice. This is something that's gonna be very new to cozy gamers. Other games in this genre are more linear. However, here things are vague and you need to go with your gut feeling, and sometimes that gut feeling, just like real life, is just gonna punch you and you're gonna be like, I wish I did not do this. And this is how storytelling is gonna shape up your experience in Mirthwood. You fabricate your own story, and it's amazing because anything can happen here. Moving to the gameplay, you start by customizing your character with different skin tones, beards, eyes, eye color, etc. And you also choose your origin, class, and profession. So the RPG elements are going to be presented to you right away, and what you choose will impact your experience. For example, if you choose to be a royal, it will make you socially more alluring, but that comes at the cost of having armor that is less effective in combat. I'm going to talk about this and more in my tips and tricks video that's going to drop tomorrow, which is gonna make your experience with Mirthwood a lot more smooth. Now, when starting your game, I suggest going with the tutorial option because you're gonna need it, and you can customize your difficulty level by choosing to either keep the survival and combat elements as they are or making them easier. You're gonna see that you have a health, hunger, and stamina bar. In combat, you're gonna lose health points if you're hit, whereas your stamina is gonna drop when you do work like chop trees and mine ores, and you also lose hunger as time passes by. Luckily, making food is very easy in this game, and you're gonna be introduced to farming, where you can start with making food using your first harvest. Farming is very simple. You can toggle a grid on and off, which will help you till the soil. Then you can plant your seeds, water them, and wait for their harvest. To get seeds though, you're gonna have to make your way to the town, and this is where you start exploring the world, and you're like, maybe things are not that cozy after all. So the town is gonna be your main hub. You do most of your shopping there, and you get to know some of the villagers. You're also gonna see the notice board where you can grab some quests, then you can access them through your journal where you read more about what the quest is and what's required to progress through them. You'll also find a ledger with some requests from villagers as well as the marketplace pricing. Things will be going for more or less money depending on the day, so you're gonna find yourself checking this pretty often to make sure that you sell things when they are more expensive. You're also gonna find a blacksmith who will sell you some blueprints for better gear and armor, which you're gonna need. And in the town, you can also sell your food and items that you don't need, as well as buy ranch animals. You're also gonna meet some villagers that might need your help, and interacting with these villagers is very reminiscent of The Sims if you've ever played that franchise. To interact with villagers, you click on them, and then you have different options to choose from. And each option in itself is gonna present you with even more sub-options. So let's say you choose to chat with someone. You're not gonna just chat with them, you're gonna choose what kind of conversations you want to have. Do you want to have some small talk, or maybe you want to be intellectual, or maybe you have some deep thoughts that you want to share with them, or maybe you want to influence someone. You can do that by cheering them up, or talking well about other people, or maybe talking badly about someone else. If you want to trash talking your way through the game, you can do so. At the top of the screen, you're gonna see what the villager is saying, and the plus and minus signs are gonna show you if the person is having a good conversation or a not so bubbly one with you. So you can do your own storytelling here, and to add more depth into this, each NPC has their own list of traits and skills and likes and dislikes, mood, and these will be unlocked as you talk more and more to them. And you can also check their previous interactions that day, and I love that added touch because as I traversed the world, I just saw people interact with each other. I don't know why this guy is upset with me, but you're gonna see stuff like that. But I also like knowing what kind of interaction they had before they talked with me, and they did not enjoy it. And this really makes up for the overall setting of this game, which is pretty grim. See, Mirthwood is all about you exploring the world. It's also about you completing quests, as well as solving some mysteries that you can find either by interacting with others or reading letters and gathering clues that are scattered around the world. You have a mini-map and a regular map to use, and each time you discover a new location, you're gonna get some survival XP, and the game is not gonna hold your hand at all. Be it in exploration or playing the game in general, you're really left to fend for yourself. And sometimes a quest will show you a yellow area on the map, so you can look for answers there, but other times, and which is like more frequently, you're not gonna find anything on the map, so you have to read the journal and make sure that you know what you're being asked to do. You have a couple of things that you can level up in the game, and these skills will increase based on the activities you do. So for example, if you chop wood or you mine ores, you're gonna become better at the trading skill, and that in turn will unlock some extra bonuses for you. And then eventually you can also unlock some skill cards that are gonna add even more bonuses to your gameplay. But back to the world itself, you have a few signposts that you can find around, and you can use them to fast travel from one place to another. And in the beginning, you're gonna feel like your stamina is running out very quickly because you're running around from place to place, and the map is pretty huge, but eventually you will get yourself a horse, and that will make things a lot easier. The world itself is full of wolves and monsters and thieves and bandits and more, so they're ready to kick your ass this moment that they see you, and you can either be a chicken and run away or be a badass and fight back. So combat wise, you can use your sword or a bow, or be like me and just use both. And you know, whenever I panic, I'm just like, I'll go with whatever panic mode is telling me to do right now, and I'll use it and actually defeat the monster. And you can expect to dodge, you can block attack, and you also have a light and heavy attack when using your sword. Combat is pretty simple, but you do have to take your time. You cannot button mash because pretty much all of the enemies will try to dodge you or block your attacks. But also if you stumble across, let's say, the thieves, they're just running around like a crazy maniac, and it's really hard to pin them down, so you just have to time it and wait for them to calm down so you can actually hit them. You also have a wheel that you can use to easily switch between your weapons as well as consumables, and you have an inventory where you can equip different items to keep track of your belongings. The inventory fits the game perfectly, and it adds to that medievally feel. Definitely a handsome inventory and menu overall. And while talking about the world, we have to talk about the presentation here, which is really well done. Each area feels so different and distinct. While the town feels lively and safe, even if you bring an enemy in, everyone is gonna help you beat them down, and that makes you feel just really secure. That feeling is gonna go away so quickly when you go out and you're trying to explore the world, because monsters and people and bandits are out to get you, and they're gonna fight you collectively if they see you at the same time. The developers also let you take advantage of your surroundings, so you're gonna find some explosive barrels that you can use, but make sure that you're out of the way, otherwise you're gonna die. I'm not speaking out of experience. No, I am not. I did not set myself to explode a time or two. But anyway, even when you die, you just respawn with some health back and you lose some coins as far as I can tell, so it's not that great of a penalty. And the good thing is that you can save anywhere at any time. Thank God that the devs let us do that with an RPG. You know, we're gonna be safe coming our way through, so you could do that, but you cannot choose the name of the save file. It overwrites itself every time. And if you're a loot goblin like myself, you're gonna find yourself looting enemies and barrels and chests and looking for forgeables, which is really fun to do. You can also recruit companions and pets that will come alongside you when you're journeying through the world, but I didn't reach that point yet. But I think before we talk more about things that you can do, I want to address performance and controls here. I was switching between mouse and keyboard as well as controller, and both were pretty responsive and easy to learn, but performance-wise, I did stumble across some issues. So first, these settings are pretty limited. As you can see, I wish we had more things that we can play around with. And when playing, the game was pretty smooth sailing for the most part with no game-breaking bugs, but when it would be like heavily raining, or sometimes when I'm moving from one place to another, the game would freeze, the screen would just stop responding for a few seconds, and then it comes back to normal. I know that the devs are addressing these and they have a lot of patches coming in. Even when I was playing the game in early access before anybody else publicly can play the game. I saw patches being rolled in every day, so that gives me a positive feeling that they're gonna be on top of the bugs. And I also found some typos where the space button wasn't used. Also, can we talk about the cutscene voice acting and the music? Pretty much the sound department in this game is chef's kiss. Really good.
Your story begins in darkness. In the cool of the old vineyard, the air is still, offering you a moment to reflect on your past.
The music is amazing. This made me feel like I'm playing a indie Skyrim. It's so good, and the sound effects are really high quality. They add to the immersion. The voice acting is really good, but the voice acting is only gonna be found during cutscenes or sometimes scattered here and there, whereas most of the letters that you're gonna be reading and interactions with the NPCs is gonna be silent. Now I want to show you some more fun things that you can do, but before we get to that, hello you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. If this video is helpful, help me squish the like and subscribe buttons so we can smack the algorithm right in the face. So what are some more fun things that you can do? You have plenty of production units to create using your workshop. You can get a churn, a kiln, a furnace, and more. These will help you make better armor, weapons, and tools, as well as make ranch goods, which you can either consume for health and reduce hunger, or you can sell them for a profit. You can also upgrade your house, decorate the interior and exterior. You can go fishing, you can steal if that's your activity of choice, and you know, you're gonna see that decrease your morality real quickly, but if that's what you like, you could do that. And there is a lot more patches and free DLC updates that will be coming, including one where you can create your own family by getting married and having children. Not only that, but the game will also have co-op after the PC launch, so you can play it with friends. But let's answer the big question. Is Mirthwood gonna be the game for you? We're gonna go with this game is for you if, not for you if, and my verdict. This game is gonna be for you if you are, first, an RPG lover who wants something new, or two, you're a cozy gamer who wants to learn about RPGs, because you can make your experience easier here. So this is a great entry point rather than me telling you, oh, go play, you know, Witcher or Fallout or Skyrim. These are very difficult. This one is a lot easier to get into. It's also for you if you love making your own storyline and you love having freedom in how you pace yourself and your game. Yes, there is a story here, but there is no rush to complete it. It's also for you if you're okay with playing a game that does not hold your hand at all and you're okay with being lost. It's for you if you don't mind combat that is less forgiving than most cozy games, but also not as excruciatingly hard as other RPGs. However, this game is not for you if you're looking for a hardcore RPG. This is an indie game with a lot of lore to uncover, but the battles are not as insane as your typical Western RPG, let's say. It's also not for you if you think that this is a completely cozy and cute game, because it's not. The enemies are really hard at times, and the world itself is grim and dark, and some of the quests that you play will not have a happy ending, so they're pretty sad. So it's not a bubbly experience if that's what you're looking for. And also, it's not for you if you think that you can avoid combat altogether, because at the end of the day, you still want to upgrade your tools and your weapon and armors, and to do that, you're gonna have to venture out at one point to get yourself some iron ore and whatnot. So if you want to really fully experience the game, you cannot exclude combat from your experience. As for me, seeing that this game is made by only 2 people, it goes to show how studios, I've said this before, it just astonishes me that AAA studios sometimes fail, while a 1-person or a 2-person studio can make such a great game with so much love and passion poured into it. And I love how they managed to get their inspiration for games like Fable, RimWorld, and Stardew Valley and create this intricate and really fun world that is open for you to explore. I found that the experience is challenging enough where I need to prepare before I head out, but it's also forgiving enough where I can still balance my game by staying home for a bit and making sure that I can rest and be well equipped for my next journey. The subtle storytelling through bits and pieces of letters and cutscenes and quests spread across the world is intriguing, and I feel like I still have barely scratched the surface. Are you getting Mirthwood? Let me know and watch this video next for some tips and tricks to help you get started. Thank you again to Vicarious PR for sponsoring this video. Thank you to my YouTube and Bubbly patrons for making videos like this possible. And a shout out goes to the Game Dimension, Jake, Logan, and Stephanie for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.